The Lakers and Clippers begin pursuit of an NBA title. USC's spring game makes Trojans fans pretty happy the season is still 5 months away. And there's every reason to believe that El Tráfico is going to be ugly. But will it? Good morning, I'm James. This is your daily dose of sports and snark for the greatest sports city in the world, Los Angeles. This is the faithful Angelenos morning report. It is April 16th, 2023. It is Sunday. It is the Lord's Day. Take a moment and thank God for the blessings that you have in your life. And while we take moments to thank God for the blessings we have in our life when we're done, let's think about LA sports. If you like the content that we put out about LA sports, click the like button. Click the subscribe button. There's a notification bell. Hit that. It'll let you know we drop new content. Sharing is caring. Let people know we exist. And by all means, comment. It's going to be a lovely day. So before we go through the news and notes and look at the scoreboard, David Peralta hit a 2-run single with 2 out in the bottom of the ninth to lift the Dodgers to a 2-1 victory over the Chicago Cubs. The Dodgers have lifted themselves back into a first-place tie with the Arizona Diamondbacks as a result of the win. Meanwhile, today, busy day, Game 1 of the NBA playoffs, Lakers at Memphis. Despite being the 7th seed, the Lakers won the season series with the Grizzlies 2-1. Clippers at Phoenix, also Game 1. There's no Paul George, true, but Ty Lue said Marcus Morris is available, so it's not like the Clippers are completely devoid of any players. It's not like it's a G League team showing up with Kawhi. Chicago is playing at the Dodgers at 1 o'clock. Julio Urias 3-0, 1.50 ERA versus Drew Smyly 0-1 with a 6.52 ERA. And we will be talking more about El Tráfico, LAFC at LA Galaxy, 1:30-ish. Yeah, we got some stuff on our minds about it. Anthony Davis said the Lakers don't see themselves as underdogs in advance of today's game. By the way, it's only the second time ever for LeBron James to start an NBA playoff first round series without home court advantage. There's a lot of dopey stats that are flying around now. We've been talking about strategy going into the game all week. But there is one stat that I haven't mentioned yet that I believe is going to be vital for this series. In the Lakers' loss to Memphis, they committed 26 turnovers. And the purple and gold have had problems keeping control of the ball for a good chunk of the year. In their 2 wins against Memphis, the Lakers combined for 22 turnovers. Do you see the difference? They have to keep control of the ball. If they don't, Ja Morant is just going to fly down the court for one jam after another. Now, I've been confident in the Lakers' chances of an upset, if you've been watching this channel at all over the last week. Simplifying things. We've talked complex strategies, but to simplify things, the 3 best players on the court are, in no particular order, Ja Morant, Anthony Davis, LeBron James. If Morant is the best player, and by the way, it could be because he's damn near unstoppable, sure, you take Memphis. But if it's either James or Davis performing better than Durant, and definitely if it's James and Davis both performing better than Durant, it's going to be the Lakers. Finally, because the press can't resist a cheap headline, there was the, quote, expect the LeBron versus Jordan debate to heat up again. And all I'm going to say is this. This version of LeBron beats middle-aged, limping up and down the court Washington Wizards Jordan. That part's undisputed. Everything else, no. I don't want to participate in that argument. It's a tired argument. It's never been solved because the press will not let it go. The press will not let it go. So we have to let it go for the press. I'm not interested in the argument. But we've been talking about the Lakers versus the Grizzlies for a good chunk of the week. If you've been watching the channel, you know it in depth. You know my thoughts. Now, I haven't talked as much about the Clippers because they're just too hard to figure out. We don't have a lot of hard news regarding the status of Paul George other than knowing that he's highly, highly unlikely to play today. When it comes to injury rehab, the Clippers are the most vague team in the league when it comes to giving out information. But when Kawhi Leonard decides to play, and it is the playoffs, so there's not going to be load management now, Kawhi Leonard will play, and the Clippers are really good when he does. But there is going to be a problem. What makes Kevin Durant damn near unstoppable? Well, when he was over at Golden State, he wasn't the primary target on offense, obviously. You had Steph Curry. You had a healthy Klay Thompson. As a result, you could not double team Kevin Durant, and Kevin Durant demands the double team because of his superior talent. Why would you double team a player when he doesn't have the ball? When you should be double teaming Steph, etc. So, if Durant got the ball with Golden State, he's one-on-one, and that's easy money for him. This is why I think the Clippers have very little choice but to stick Kawhi Leonard on Kevin Durant. I could be wrong. My belief is this. I see Chris Paul going straight at his old team and LA needing to double team him as he drives. That's going to leave somebody open. The hope for the Clippers is that the open man is not Kevin Durant. Because obviously, now that's real problems. They're going to have to hope the open man is not Devin Booker. Once again, real problems. So, to me, that's why the Suns have the advantage. If the Clippers, because they need to stop Chris Paul from running downhill, if they double team and leave open either Durant or Booker, they're toast. That's the best I can tell you. I make no predictions about this series. Too little information. I don't have the Pac-12 network. I don't know anybody who does. So I didn't get to see the USC spring game. What I can tell you is multiple reporters thought Keon Barrs, a transfer defensive lineman from Arizona, got into the backfield repeatedly. Also, Jacoby Covington picked off 2 passes. Christian Pierce also intercepted a pass. We'll go into defense a little deeper, though, in a bit because it wasn't crimson and clover, okay? The reason I want us to talk offense first is because saying 3 interceptions might make Trojans fans a little nervous. Wait, does that mean Caleb Williams stunk up the joint? Wrong, no. Caleb Williams played 1 series. That 1 series lasted 3 plays. 2 of the 3 were passes, including a 45-yard completion to Brendan Rice. They got into the end zone on this new-look USC defense in 3 plays. So that's why we have to talk more about the defense in a moment. Miller Moss and Malachi Nelson, the latter a top-ranked recruit, took all of the remaining snaps. Nelson threw 2 of the picks. As a side note, there is no such thing as nuance to LA Times columnist Bill Plaschke. One day, after needing an entire crate of Kleenex to wipe the tears from his eyes over Cody Bellinger's return to LA, he's breathlessly exclaiming that Caleb Williams could be the greatest college quarterback in the history of college football. Look, dude, I realize the economy is bad, but if there's one job I think we could all agree is not worth the money, it's being Bill Plaschke's therapist. There is no good thing that could come from being Bill Plaschke's therapist. I mean, this guy, Kanye West thinks Bill Plaschke needs time to get his act together. This over-emotional freak who gets so much money to go on ESPN and write for the LA Times. It's either extreme for him. It's either breathless, endless love, blinding rage, crocodile tears flowing. If Bill Plaschke's tears could be put through a desalination plant, California would never be in drought ever again. But back to reality. The scribes believe Miller Moss is going to be the backup to Williams. Those interceptions thrown by Malachi Nelson did a lot to damage his cause. Running back Rayleigh Brown may have been switched to slot receiver on a regular basis. Brown caught 4 passes in the spring game, but he did not carry the ball at all, not once. Five-star wide receiver recruit Zachariah Branch caught 8 passes, but he also dropped 1. So we spent all that time talking on offense. We mentioned earlier that yes, the defense forced a couple of turnovers on the backup quarterbacks. That yes, they got torched by Caleb Williams. And yes, Keon Barnes got into the backfield. You would think that because they forced the turnovers, that they got into the backfield and that they only faced William once and allowed 1 score, that maybe the defense did well. Wrong. Not true. Last year's defense forced a lot of turnovers. Their plus minus when it came to turnovers was off the charts in the plus. Tuli Tuipulotu led the nation in sacks last year. And what happened with the rest of the USC defense? Exactly. A reporter noted that the linebackers, that the secondary still do not practice proper tackling technique. That was a problem last year. It is a problem now. Straight and simple. It's hard to tell what's legit on social media, and yes, I know that is obvious. There are all sorts of crazy rumors that I've been reading about LA Galaxy, and I have no idea what to believe. For example, will LAFC supporters today commandeer Victoria Block, where the Galaxy supporters stand? That's possible. It actually is. Galaxy supporters have stood firm in their insistence that they will not show up to a Galaxy home match until club president Chris Klein gets the heave-ho. And I'm going to put all of that stuff aside because I've been talking about it at length and just simply get straight to the rivalry derby today. LA Galaxy have scored but 3 times this year, which, by the way, is the same number of times LAFC have conceded in MLS. Dennis Bwanga, the black and gold, has outscored the Galaxy many, many times over. The Galaxy will be without vital center back Martin Caceres and designated player Douglas Costa, who both competed last week in the stupidest ejection in the history of American soccer contest. Everything about this match says LAFC in a runaway. Everything. But every time it says LAFC in a runaway, the Galaxy draw or pull out a surprise win. Every single time it says LAFC runaway. There was only one real straight-up ass-kicking in the series history. LAFC won 6-2 in the MLS's back tournament over in Orlando back during the COVID era. What happened after that? The Galaxy shut them out in the next 2 games. The point being, I cannot say that I know this is going to be an ass-kicking if history tells me that's not likely. If you're an LAFC supporter, you can be mad at me all you want. I'm not making a prediction. The gut says LAFC wins, but you know the history of this match just as much as I do. The Galaxy will tend to rise to the occasion. Ethan Garbers appears to have taken command of the first-team offense at UCLA spring football. The redshirt junior was Dorian Thompson-Robinson's backup for the last couple of years. Now, earlier we had speculated about Colin Schlee, a transfer from Kent State, but in early spring ball he threw 3 interceptions. I'm not reading a damn thing about Colin Schlee now. Nothing. Matter of fact, freshmen Dante Moore and Justin Martin have been getting the second-team snaps as Colin Schlee went from a starter at Kent State and dropped all the way down to 4th or 5th on the depth chart at UCLA. You tell me. As a result, you can imagine the skill positions for the Bruins might be coming into focus. If Garbers gets the gig, Coach Chip Kelly then has been raving about transfer running back Carson Steele lining up behind him. UCLA also benefits from poaching 2 wide receivers from outside the program. Kyle Ford from USC, J. Michael Sturdivant from Cal. So the skill positions might be set. Andre Jackson allowed 4 runs Friday when the Cubs obliterated the Dodgers, and that sucks. But Dave Roberts also confirmed that Jackson was tipping his pitches. Management confirmed it via video review. Now that sucks a little more. It does. It sucks to tip your pitches. It sucks when you get caught on it during video review. That's suckier. So sucks, suckier. You know what's suckiest? Leaving your pitcher out there to give up 4 home runs in the first place. You do realize you can pull a pitcher after 3 batters, right? Even if the Cubs went back to back to back, you would think somebody would say, you know what, he just doesn't have it. Let's not have him give up number 4. They did anyway. So I'm not sure they're handling their pitchers right. I don't think that was prudent. Will Smith was out of the lineup for a second consecutive game. Dave Roberts isn't naming the illness, but believes Smith could be back in the lineup as early as today. Trevor Bauer pitched in a minor league baseball game out in Japan. Technically, it was today, considering the time change. Bauer said he's almost ready to join the Yokohama Bay Stars. The former Cy Young Award winner, the former Dodgers pitcher, pitched 6 shutout innings. And according to the press there, the fans didn't really care about you-know-what. USC basketball recruit Silas Damari Jr. has decommitted from the Trojans basketball team. The 4-star recruit, the 57th ranked recruit in the class of 2023, posted on social media, "Respect my decision!" exclamation point. Okay, I don't know you. Sure. Even without the exclamation point, I'll respect your decision. The thing is, the decision has been fuel to the Bronny James to the USC hype train. We have no idea what LeBron's son has decided. Having said that, we don't know. There's a story that made the rounds about how when Odell Beckham Jr. signed with the Rams, the team doctor told him that he did not have an ACL in his knee, a functional one anyway. Yet there was Odell Beckham Jr. He goes out and doggone it, plays his absolute heart out until the knee gave way in the Super Bowl. Do you believe that? Do you? At this moment, I do not. Look, you are asking me to take Odell Beckham Jr.'s word, and Odell Beckham is even less stable than his knee. Odell Beckham is even less stable than Bill Plaschke. Nobody's asked the Rams doctor to confirm it yet. Somebody please do that. If Rams doctor Neil El Atrache confirms it, then yeah, I'm going to accept it. But you're telling me that the team doctor told both Sean McVay and general manager Les Snead, hey man, this man has no ACL. Sign him anyway. I'm very skeptical. Color me skeptical. By the way, the ACL keeps your shin bone from sliding in front of the thigh bone. That's kind of gross. Sign him anyway, guys. Finally, there's a lunkhead from ESPN who claims to have sources inside Chargers camp who are convinced the team will draft wide receiver in the first round. I caution against reading too much into that, even though I've suggested they need to go for wide receiver or tight end. Here's why. There's a tsunami of bad intel that always goes around before the draft, and the ESPN's hack story goes awry because he said the Chargers want speed and they're going to take Jordan Addison. I like Jordan Addison. I think he'll make a productive NFL player. Jordan Addison ran one of the slowest 40s at the NFL Combine. You do not add speed by adding Jordan Addison. So there's that. But you let me know what you think in the comments thread. Tell me what you think about Lakers Grizzlies or Clippers Suns or El Tráfico. And if you enjoyed the content, don't forget to subscribe to Faithful Angelenos. We're talking LA sports every single day here. Thank you for watching. I'm James. We'll be back with an El Tráfico rapid recap later today. And Faithful Angelenos is a Quian Corte El Queso production. Take care.